Close your eyes for a moment and picture a kitchen from the 1950s or 60s. The linoleum floor squeaks under your shoes. There's a radio on the counter playing Perry Como. You catch the smell of coffee brewing and bread toasting, while sunlight pours through lace curtains. The kitchen wasn't just a room back then, it was the heart of the home. And scattered across every counter and cupboard were little gadgets that made daily life feel easier, brighter, and sometimes a bit magical. Today, we're opening that cupboard of memories and revisiting 10 old kitchen gadgets that defined mid-century America. 1. The chrome toaster that sparkled. Shiny, heavy, and built to last, these toasters weren't just appliances, they were centerpieces. Every morning, you'd push down the sturdy lever and wait for the slow browning of bread. Kids loved the suspense. Would it pop now? Or now? And when it finally sprang up, golden and warm, it felt like a reward. Modern toasters work faster, sure, but they don't have the same weight in your hand, or the same shine that lit up a countertop. 2. The gurgling percolator. Few sounds are as comforting as the gurgle of a percolator on the stove. Through the little glass knob, you could watch the coffee bubbling up, getting richer with every cycle. The smell filled the kitchen, drifting into the hallway, promising a fresh start to the day. Making coffee was slow, deliberate, something you savored. These days, one button can give you a cup in seconds, but the ritual is gone. And sometimes, the ritual was the best part. 3. The clamp-on meat grinder. Do you remember the weight of it? Cold metal, clamped tight to the counter. You'd feed in meat, or maybe nuts, and turn the crank slowly while the handle squeaked. Out came the makings of meatloaf, sausages, or Sunday dinner. It was messy, yes, but it connected you to the food in a way that plastic-wrapped supermarket meat never could. The grinder didn't just prepare meals, it prepared memories of hard work, laughter, and family recipes passed down. 4. The electric can opener. At a time when canned goods filled every pantry, this gadget felt like a little miracle. With a buzz and a whirl, dinner was opened. No more struggling with the hand crank, this was modern convenience. Families proudly mounted them on the wall, almost like a badge of progress. But over time, they took up more room than they were worth, and the simple manual opener won its place back. Still, for a moment, it felt like the future had arrived in the kitchen. 5. The butter churner jar. It might sound old-fashioned, but plenty of mid-century homes still had one. A glass jar, a handle, and a lot of patience, that's all it took to turn cream into butter. Kids loved helping, watching the liquid thicken and change with each crank. It was slow work, but there was magic in seeing something transform right before your eyes. And when you finally spread that fresh butter on bread, it was worth every turn of the handle. 6. The hand crank egg beater. It wobbled, it squeaked, and it made your arm tired, but it whipped cream like nothing else. Housewives, and sometimes kids eager to help, cranked the handle fast, watching the beaters blur as they spun. Cakes, meringues, batters, all had a taste of this humble little tool. When electric mixers took over, the hand beater faded away, but the memory of that squeaky rhythm still lingers in many kitchens. 7. The aluminum ice cube tray. You'd fill it carefully, trying not to spill water on the floor, then slide it into the freezer. Hours later came the real test, pulling the lever. With a snap and a crack, the cubes broke free, often spraying a little water in the process. Some stuck stubbornly, but when you dropped them into a glass of cola, they sparkled like treasure. Today's freezers hand us ice on demand, but they don't give us the little thrill of that stubborn lever finally releasing its prize. 8. The pressure cooker with the jiggle top. If you grew up in a kitchen with one of these, you'll remember the sound. That steady hiss, followed by the jiggle of the weight on top, almost like it was dancing on the lid. It was a little scary, parents warned kids to keep their distance, but it was also exciting. Beans, stews, and tough cuts of meat transformed in record time. The sound of that jiggling lid became part of the dinner soundtrack, filling homes with both comfort and suspense. 9. The rotary egg slicer. It might seem small, but it had a charm all its own. You'd set down a hard-boiled egg, press the wires, and suddenly, perfect slices, neat and tidy. Sandwiches looked better, salads looked fancier. It was a little piece of order in a sometimes chaotic kitchen. Today, most of us just grab a knife, but back then, this tiny gadget felt like a touch of elegance. 10. The hand-pressed juicer. A Sunday morning wasn't complete without one of these on the counter. Oranges, grapefruits, lemons, each one pressed by hand, filling the kitchen with bright, sweet scents. Children would line up to help, leaning on the handle and squeezing out every last drop. A pitcher of fresh juice on the breakfast table was more than a drink, it was sunshine you could pour. Modern juicers may be faster, but they'll never give us that same shared joy. Outro. These gadgets weren't just about cooking. They were about togetherness. About little moments, the squeak of a beater, the crack of an ice tray, the gurgle of coffee, that made a house feel alive. They remind us that the kitchen was once a stage where family life played out, day after day. So which of these do you remember most? Or maybe there's one I missed that takes you right back to your childhood kitchen. Share your memories in the comments, I'd love to hear them. And if you enjoyed this trip back in time, don't forget to like, subscribe,